I love these lights. I felt like I'm gazing at the Milky Way and it's winking back at me. And I love my cozy little, snuggly little reading area. It reminds me of that time during the holidays when I'd sit with my mom and my brothers and my sister and we'd gather around and she'd tell us stories in Italian, what it was like those starry nights. And so as the earth is dancing around the sun and it seems like it's getting darker and darker, she would remind me that the tree and the lights were there so we would know that we were never alone. I love this time of the year. Yeah, you know, it gets commercial, all right? You know, the Christmas songs at Halloween and you walk in the door and you're assaulted. You gotta buy this, you gotta buy that. But you know what? I don't pay attention to that. The season, it's about love. And what I believe that this time of the year is when I get to turn on the light within. And I get to turn on that love even brighter. And I get to go back in time when I was a little kid. And we remember that it was the most absolute beautiful time of the year. And I can still hear the reindeers on the roof when I was at the Holy Trinity Church. And I could have sworn Santa was already at the house. But we got home and he wasn't there yet. And my mom left the cookies on the table. And I would go to bed praying. And I had just heard angels here on high. And I knew that the angels were hanging with Santa. And I knew when I woke up, everything that I wished for would be there. You know what brings me to this moment is whenever I hear a bell. When someone would ring the bell, it reminded me of Clarence and It's a Wonderful Life. It reminded me of the angels that were all around. And I go back to that remembrance when my mother would sing these songs, and when we'd go in and hear the Latin, Pie Jesu, just the holy sacred of whoever this child was that came 2,000 years ago to remind us of the light and to remind us of the love. But what I know is that as a grown-up, I'll always be a kid at heart. And all the elves that I used to read about and hear about, I know they now have different names. They're called Gary Floyd and Julie Bond and Robin Hackett and Laney Bernstein and Andrew Tinker and Carrie Cooper and Tom Purcell Brown, this fabulous ensemble, and everybody. The elves show up in amazing ways. But what I know is that my favorite dude is Taylor, the latte guy. Because he knows how to make my eggnog lattes the most fabulous rich way. So what I'm clear about is that when I get into this holiday mode and I'm sitting here and I hear these songs about angels' wings and I hear these songs about Christmas and I hear all this song that just stirs within me, it reminds me that I'm not alone. It may seem like it's dark, but I can hear the angels. And it may seem like it's dark, but the light reminds me of the truth. And it may seem like it's dark, but I can hear those little elves tinkering away on the piano and the guitar, but also tinkering away, making all these beautiful gifts for us. And I am very clear that we may not have a white Christmas in Texas, but anything that I can imagine in my heart, it will be there. So, I like to read my Santa stories because Santa's Workshop is one of my favorites. And I know the Grinch is coming along pretty soon. But what I'm clear is that whenever I feel the stress of the holiday, I put on my favorite music. And I let the songs carry me. And I let the memories of my childhood lift me. And then I remind myself that I get to be the light. And I get to be the love. And I get to be the songs. And I get to remind everybody that we're never alone. So in this holiday season, The invitation is to open your heart, because the present is right there. And when you open your heart and you sing these beautiful songs, and the angels are singing right beside you, just know that you always have a home. Merry Christmas. Open your hearts, just open your whole soul, because the angels are getting ready to sing. And the first one is going to be an introduction by Lainey Burns.